and welcome back to my tomato garden. If you remember in a previous video, I clipped the suckers from my older tomato plants and I set them in water, and when they began to produce roots, I planted those suckers out here in the garden, and as you can see, they're doing very very well. Let me kind of get out of the way here, but they're still growing, and some of them have produced some flowers here. I'm very happy to see this. As you can see here, I have a little flower producing right there, so I'm so excited to see that. So this is just like a little update on my planting, my replanting tomato plants. We're basically just planting the suckers that I cut off. So I'll put a link of that video in the description, so that way you'll be able to watch it. But I'm hoping that I get a second tomato harvest from these suckers that I planted. We're in autumn season right now. As you can see, the wind is blowing. You could probably hear it in my mic, but the temperatures have cooled down a little bit, but they're not so cool to where you know, there isn't enough sun or warmth for the tomatoes to grow. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and here our growing climate is 7B to 8A. So, you know, we have mild winters. So I believe that by the end of harvest season, I will have some tomatoes. They may not grow as tall as they were in the previous video, but I don't want them to grow too tall. I want them to stay, you know, about mid height. One of my neighbors, I gave her I gave her a few of my tomato plants because they all germinated and began growing, and I didn't have enough space for them all. So I gave a lot of them away to family members and friends and neighbors. And actually her tomato plant, and these are indeterminate tomatoes, her tomato plant, it didn't grow any farther than this. So I don't know if she was just cutting the top off consistently or what, but hers grew to here and she was getting a lot of tomatoes. So I think by her keeping it clipped and not letting it grow too much, she was able to have a lot of the nutrients and the energy to go just towards producing flowers and producing more tomatoes. So I'm confident, fairly confident that these suckers that I planted, I have to tie some of them up, because you see this one here has actually grown a little bit taller here, but they're trying to find the sun, because right now in the autumn time, the sun is beginning to move more south, and I'm in the northern hemisphere, so I believe the sun is moving more south, because while we're going into autumn, well, while we're in autumn here in the northern hemisphere, in the southern the wind is blowing, in the southern hemisphere, well, you guys, if you're in the southern hemisphere and watching, the southern hemisphere is going into spring, or they're in spring right now. So so the sun is moving a little bit more south. So before, the sun was like here, and now the sun is more this way. And as you can see, my tomato plant here, it's bending and it's moving forward because it's trying to catch that sun. But I'm just gonna, you know, tie it up a little bit here, and, you know, have a little flower. So I'm gonna have some tomato plants. Oh my goodness, everything is blowing everywhere. But we're gonna keep it moving. But I'm happy. Everything, you know, even here behind me, and I have a Roma tomato plant here that I didn't cut this one down. So this one, my Roma tomato plants, they're indeterminate as well, but they didn't go as crazy as my Madame Maman tomatoes. But I have a little tomato here that's growing, but this one here died out. I don't know what happened with that, but the rest of them are thriving, and that's the important thing. But just seeing that this works. Now, next year, when I sow my tomato plants, when they get too big, before, you know, we're almost into autumn, when they get big, I may just continuously clip off the larger suckers and just keep replanting them, or just clip off the suckers and maybe plant them somewhere else. I may move my tomatoes into another area. I may actually move them back here, but since next year the sun will be more this way, I don't know if I'll receive enough sunlight back here where I had my new potatoes. But you know, I'm just happy to report that they're doing well, and I have a feel I'm going to have some more tomatoes to celebrate and maybe do some canning or something like that. Well, guys, thank you for joining me in my garden again. And thank you for, you know, taking this tomato sucker replanting journey with me. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you. And those buttons, they're down there. You know where they are. And if you want to further support the channel, check out my Amazon page. I'll put a link in the description. And by reading my book, it'll help further support the channel. And I'll be able to make you guys some more videos and write some more books. So thank you again for joining me. See you guys later. Bye.